Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Saturday to you. This is Rob the Mad Hatter from the biggest show in the world, Sports Bettors TV, talking to my boy, the evil genius of Major League Baseball, Mr. Dr. Dan. What's up, kid? Good morning.
Good morning, man. You know, I am fired up today, man. You know, in reference to the song, you're going to go out there and sabotage these books. Hey, and obviously I'm a little giddy as a Mets fan. We just put Cespedes in the middle of the lineup. D'Arnaud came back yesterday. Got a walk-off win after a brilliant Harvey start where, again, he just can't get the win. But, you know, I'll take that in 12 innings. And, hey, man, Mets are minus 155 today, which I haven't seen in a long time, and I think I know why that is.
Wow, minus 155 for the Mets, kid. That's
against
unbelievable.
The Nasties.
Wow,
and
kid.
I know DeGrom's on the mound against Ross. I know that, but you know, normally, you know, you'll see the Mets maybe like minus 120.
Yep.
Minus
exactly.
115.
Exactly. Well, we'll jump right into the MLB card very soon, man. We got a couple of big things that went down this week. I want to pick your brain a little bit. Let's talk real quick. Let's talk.
Yes, I'm still a little confused. You know, I mean, look, maybe it's because I've been a long-time Jose Reyes guy, and normally I'd say, hey, you know, he's super injury-prone.
Yep.
But so is Tulo. But, I mean, Tulo has been unreal. I mean, just since he's been there. You know, I think he's also super fired up. I mean, to be with a competitor for really the first time in his career, except for a few brief appearances with the Rockies. So, no, the Blue Jays, man, they are really something. They're really something to be reckoned with. A little, you know, obviously the trade deadline was confusing, too. I mean, with the Rangers thinking that they're in it.
Yeah, right. Picking up Cole Hamels, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, and I get it because, you know, I guess if you look at next year and you say, hey, we got Yu Darvish and we have Cole Hamels now. You know, and Cole Hamels is used to pitching in a bandbox. It's Philadelphia, Texas is the same way. But you also have some crazy offenses out there. So we'll see what happens there. But that's definitely not for this year. Look, you know, Toronto has got to make a push, obviously, to catch the Yankees. I still think either one of those teams, I think the Yankees will probably end up winning the division still. Toronto will get in with a wild card. I just think that the offense is obviously ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, they can hit off anybody. There's nobody that's safe from Toronto offensively. And now, you know, they made some good pieces, like even like the Ben Revere pickup for a bench player, or if there's an injury, you know, that's a great little small move pickup. And then you add Price in there.
Yeah.
And going into the Dome, especially if they make the playoffs, here's the thing, guys. We all know that Price is terrible in cold weather.
Exactly.
You put Price in a dome. I mean, he pitched in Tampa Bay in a dome. You know, and now he's going to Toronto. It'll be 72 degrees for those home games. And if you don't think that they'll mix that rotation up if they get into a playoff spot where he gets home games as much as he can, they will.
Oh, of course. Definitely. It's a good strategy there, man. And let's see who else. Aroldis Chapman didn't get traded, dude.
No, neither did Craig Kimbrell. I mean, the Padres, you know, look, you look at teams that should be buying that don't as the biggest losers. I think the Padres lost huge, man.
Big time.
I mean, their GM is an idiot. Upton's a free agent. You know, you could have gotten rid of Kemp. Somebody would have taken Matt Kemp. You didn't get rid of Kimbrell.
Yeah.
You didn't get rid of Fields. I mean, it's like, what are you doing? You're 10 games, and you know, people are saying, "Oh, maybe they're going for it." What are you going for?
Nah, man. They're what are they like? I think they're 3 games under 500, Dan, if I'm not mistaken. And,
yeah,
they did win last night, and they kind of win it a little bit, but I don't think they got a shot at doing anything, to be frank with you.
Look, they did have that one game against my Mets where it just, you know, made me want to puke.
Oh, in the rain, yeah.
Game, which I don't, you know, look, I obviously I fault the MLB and the umpires there more than anything, but I just had to, but, you know, it's the Padres, man. They're terrible. And you're going up against the Dodgers and the Giants in that division right now, which I guess people are saying, oh, they can beat them. They haven't beaten them all year.
Right, definitely.
It's not like they added a piece. They didn't add anything, so it's not like you can expect for things to be, crazy. But also, guys, just for the sheer hell of it, because I love baseball and it's a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the Kendrys Morales slide in the home. Yesterday, it's the funniest slide you'll ever see.
Oh, really? I saw somebody get nailed in the nuts yesterday from a slide on second base.
Yeah, that'll happen. That stuff. No, Kendrys Morales, he was going to be out by 10 feet, and he slid. He did a pop-up slide before he even got to the catcher, and then the catcher went to tag him, thought he would be, by home plate, and fell over, and then he just jumped over him and touched home plate. You got to watch it on replay.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, dude. So, a lot of things. And Cueto was,
I mean, it only gave
not
him
the
3
best
yards.
yesterday. Yeah, I mean, it was all right. You know what I mean? But
it's Toronto.
Yeah, against Toronto. Good point. You make
Toronto
up a very good point
Toronto
there, brother.
At home.
Yeah.
And the thing is I think, I mean, dude, Josh Donaldson is a beast.
Yes.
I mean,
definitely.
Worst trade the Athletics probably have made ever.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, man. So we'll see how the second half of the year goes now with all these trades popping, man.
That's going to be the best, that's going to be the best game of this day, I think.
Definitely.
I think the Mets Nasties game will be great, but this Kansas City Toronto game today is going to show a lot.
Absolutely, man. Big ups to everybody that's out on Twitter right now retweeting our page. We appreciate it, guys. We got Jay Cast out there, C. Rodriguez Jr., JC, Moosefire, got Benjamin Rowe. What's going on, buddy? Got Sin City Maverick, Ciroc King J, Soccer's Finest, my boy D, just followed you back. What's going on? The VEV is out there. James Harrelson, It's Moots all the way in Australia. Let's see who else. And Heavy 365 along with James Harrelson. What's up, guys? Good morning to you. How's everybody doing out there? All right, Dan. So, a couple of things. We will get into baseball, but we got UFC 190 tonight, brother.
Yep. And there's been some pretty torrid stuff being said, man.
Oh, I know.
Poking the bear.
Poking the bear a little bit, man. You're certainly looking at the, obviously, the main event here, because they're really blowing up this Ronda Rousey, man. Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
That's because, guys, I mean, if you look at this line right now, and, Hatter and I were going through it, obviously, it's right around minus 1,600. I'm sure you could shop it a very little bit. The dog is a plus 800, Correa. Ronda Rousey is fully, if you take her, to obviously win in the first round, it's still only minus 300.
Yeah.
I know, look, a lot of people say Correa can fight. Ronda Rousey's going to murder this chick.
You think so,
Rousey is gonna. I mean, look, I think 30 seconds.
30 seconds,
30 seconds to a minute.
Wow.
30 seconds to a minute. Put me on that. I'm gonna see if I can find that prop somewhere because, dude, first off, like I was saying, the things that Correa has said about Rousey, basically, everybody knows Ronda Rousey's dad had killed himself, and talking about that stuff. Talking about how Ronda Rousey is gonna maybe kill herself. I mean, come on, man. You don't go after someone's family like that. And as a normal dude that doesn't really get too angry most of the time, that would make me want to kill somebody.
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely.
You got the best fighter in the world, and then you really just all you're doing is shaking a can of soda, man, shaking a beer real hard, and she's gonna explode. She's gonna be so ready to kill this girl.
Taking a look at the tail of the tape, man. So Ronda Rousey's 11-0, and 10 of those victories have come, I believe, in the first round. But this girl, Beth Carrera, they call her the Pitbull, man. She's 9-0, and her, believe it or not, dude, her takedowns defended are about 80%, man. So she hasn't lost yet either, dude.
There's been other prominent women fighters supposedly that have come in to show Ronda Rousey that it's not just you, dude. I mean, I understand the stats for this other girl, but she can get killed tonight.
Did you see the weigh-in? They were talking. This girl, Ronda Rousey, was just real quiet. This other girl screaming right in her face, man. I was like, whoa, look at this, man. So, if you look at it.
Man, big bark. Big bark.
Big bark, man. She's not backing down at all, man. So plus 1,100 on the underdog. Hey, you never know. I think that'd be pretty. Go ahead.
You want to throw? I mean, look. I mean, you want to throw a protector bet. Like, for instance, look, this is the way that you might want to do it. And guys, check your arbitrage calculators and all that. But so 10 out of 11 Rousey fights have gone in the first round. So what I might do is I might take her at the minus 300. So I feel real confident about that. Obviously, I'm going to see if I can get a time limit proposition bet as well on this fight.
Damn.
But what I'm definitely going to do is I'm going to take the minus 300, and I actually will take the dog for a small play to cover. If she wins, because I might go that route.
Hey, so maybe it's worth a shot doing a $50 parlay. You do the underdog and leave 2 spots open. You know what I mean? My man Irvin is talking about he's taking. Let's see, Danny Garcia tonight. Let me take a look at where Danny Garcia is as far as the odds are concerned. I don't see him on here, brother. Looking at an odds page right now. I'm looking at the UFC 190, and I'm not seeing it. So, I'd like to see what that ends up paying for you, man. So, I don't know, man. I'm going to take a look at this. I'm looking at right now the under-over of 1.5 rounds. Over 1.5 being plus 290, and under 1.5 being minus 350, Dan. I don't know, man. That's going to be kind of crazy. Most of these fights don't go past 1.5 rounds. But taking a look at this tail of the tape, man, Ronda Rousey and this other girl, they're both 135 pounds. Ronda Rousey is 2 inches taller. She's 5'7", versus the Beth Correa is 5'5". Takedowns defended. Here's a big thing here, though. The takedown accuracy, Ronda Rousey's 72%. Versus Korea is only 25%. So, her takedowns are not as accurate. So, and I know Ronda Rousey, if you watch her, like, on the mat, whatever, when, girls are trying to take her down, she kind of, like, does this, like, flip and kind of just gets right on top of them. You know what I mean?
That's because she's the best.
Yeah, definitely. So,
but here, and I think I got the bet, man. I think I got the bet. And tell me, if this makes sense to you. You take the under 1 round on Rousey, right?
Yep.
But then you take Correa over 1.5, which is plus 270.
Okay.
So then, because then if it goes over a round, it might, you might actually see it go distance. First of all, I think it's gonna be quick. So that's why I would have that initial under 1 round play. But then you could back that up with over 1.5. So as long as you get through, the first half of the second round, after that, you're good.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Well, hey, we'll see where it is, and we'll keep it moving. There's some other fights on the card, guys. It's going to be a good UFC. I think there will be a lot of people tuning in, especially the way they're blowing up Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 undercard matches before that, man. So take a look at it, man. Guys, good luck if you're betting this stuff tonight, man. I know it's going to be pretty crazy, but speaking of a couple of other things, man, Roddy Piper from the WWE has passed away, man. That's unfortunate. 61 years old, had a cardiac arrest in his sleep, dude.
I know. That's a lot of these wrestlers unfortunately die young. It's really unfortunate. I mean, I know that, like, I grew up, my brother and I, at least, my brother, who's just a couple years younger than me, watching him, all the time, man, all the time. So, out to the family, obviously, R.I.P. Roddy Piper.
Definitely.
And, I know that Rousey is fighting for him tonight. I think he'll be pleased.
Big ups to my man Vinny here. He's telling me that Danny Garcia is a boxer, so that's why I couldn't find it. That's why I couldn't find it on the UFC stuff. Yep. All right. So sounds good, dude. All right, let's jump.
Did he cross over?
I have no idea, man, but he is up. Exactly. All right, man, so why don't we get right into the MLBs, Dan, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and I want to zip through these games and see if I can find any value as far as we're concerned here.
Yeah, I think we got a little value out there today. Guys, just so you know, the weather looks beautiful. All games should be played.
Oh, definitely, man. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 games on the ticket, man. Everything is playing. Everybody's playing. Yes, definitely. We're starting off with K-Sizzle and Toronto. How about the Toronto Blue Jays, man, just having their way with Kansas City?
Unreal. I mean, that was a great game. to watch as a fan, because you're seeing two teams. Look, Kansas City is obviously a juggernaut right now. 20 games over 500. Besides St. Louis, they best team in baseball. And you saw Toronto, and let's do our job. That can happen in a clubhouse.
Yep.
Really reinvigorate guys. They were, like a game or whatever, over 500. And then they went in and that offense went crazy. Just unbelievable. So, Toronto 53 and 51 now. Man, and today I think we see a lot of the same thing.
Yeah, man, looking at Yordano Ventura for the Kansas City Royals with a 5-7 record with a 4.86 ERA versus Burley with a 11-5 record for the Toronto Blue Jays with a 3.29 ERA. Toronto, as you know, the number one offense in baseball, kid. So,
yes,
you think they get the better of them again?
I'm not gonna. I think this is a real coin flip here. I mean, Ventura had a great last outing, but, his last 3 outings have all been at home. But his last outing was against Houston, and he only gave up 6 hits and an earned run against 7 innings. Remember, before that, they wanted to send him to the minor leagues, and then they had the injury problem. And then you got Burley, who is very steady. His last 3 starts have all been on the road. He's given up 2, 1, and 3 earned runs, respectively. I'm actually taking the over here today.
Oh, okay.
I think both these offenses are primed and ready to go, and in a number of 8, I feel very comfortable.
You love those Toronto overs, don't you?
Dude, I mean, they're money.
Yes.
Especially, look, it's not... If they were going out there and, it wasn't... I mean, Ventura, I just think, look, I like him. I think he does have the talent to eventually be an ace. Not today. Not against this lineup. Not against the Toronto team that is just they look primed, dude. They look primed, and I think they get a decent enough outing from Burley. I do think he'll give up some runs, but I can see Toronto putting up a 6 or 7 spot by themselves again.
Interesting, man. All right, sounds good, Dan. So we'll move over to the next one in the AL East matchup, which is the tale of the worst teams, I think, in the AL East. You got Tampa Bay at Boston today. Tampa Bay with Matt Moore. Boston with Joe Kelly. Kind of pissed at myself I didn't take the Red Sox in this series, dude, because I think they're better than Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is just absolutely garbage, dude.
Yeah, but the Red Sox just seem to find ways to lose games.
Yeah, Boston minus 115 with an under-over of 9.5, dude.
Yeah, and today, here is one that's a little, this is a little crazy. I mean, you have an over-under on these teams of 9.5. I mean, that's huge for Tampa Bay and Boston, and I know why. I mean, look, Joe Kelly has been brutal as of late.
Both pitchers.
5 runs, 4 earned. He hasn't gone past 5 1/3 innings. He hasn't gone, in 2 out of his last 3 starts, he hasn't gotten past the 3rd inning or the 4th inning. And, Matt Moore has been bad too. 3 earned, 4 earned, and 5 earned. But I'm going to go with the under here.
Under 9.5, huh?
Yeah.
Kind of, what? I look at Tampa Bay's bats, how terrible they are. They're almost as bad as the Mets, dude. 3.58 runs a game.
Well, you'll see. The Mets are going to pull themselves out of those doldrums real soon, baby.
Oh, yeah, you're feeling them, aren't you?
Oh, I'm feeling a little Cespedes for the rest of us.
Oh, definitely, man. Tampa Bay, as I alluded to, one of the worst teams in the league offensively, but both of these pitchers have some substantially high ERAs, man. Matt Moore has a 7.61 ERA, man. Joe Kelly 5.88, but man, that's a tough call, Dan.
It's 9.5. And I'm looking at Tampa Bay and I'm like, oh my God, your offense is garbage.
It is.
I think they're the second worst. And I know they're looking at the game yesterday. It was 7-5. And the last 5 Red Sox games in a row have gone over.
Yeah, right. 5 in a row. Exactly. I'm looking at that right now.
6 in a row. 6 in a row. Sorry.
Okay.
6 in a row.
Tampa Bay 2-9 in the last 11 on the road as well, dude. My God.
I think
terrible.
It's due for an under. I really do. And if you're going to get one, it's going to be Tampa Bay. And even money, I like it even better. I know, I'm feeling it.
Okay, sounds good, man. You might even want to consider a Tampa Bay team total under, because it's probably somewhere in the 4.5 range.
Yeah. The thing is I could see this game being, 5-3 one way or the other. Like, I don't think it's going to be a 1-0, breathe easy the whole way.
No, of course not.
But, and I'm just not sure where that 5 spot's going to land. I doubt it's going to be Tampa Bay. I'm banking on it.
Okay.
But, I definitely see why you would do that.
Absolutely, man. I've watched Tampa Bay been like no hit in like several games, like going into the 5th and 6th inning, man. Just their offense has just been atrocious, kid. So I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't know, man. I might jump on that with you, Dan. We'll have that conversation later on.
Yeah, it's funny because it's you got the over juggernauts in the Red Sox and the under juggernauts in Tampa Bay.
Right.
So
right. Exactly. All right, man. Let's keep it moving to the next one. We have LA versus LA, the Angels versus the Dodgers. Andrew Heaney for the LA Angels and Mr. Clayton Kershaw minus 240. Nice, with an under over of 6 runs. Dan, what's Kershaw's health doing, man?
I mean, I heard it was just hip, which, he didn't go on the DL. With the amount of money he's making, I can't see it being anything. Because, there's just no way. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that they would let him come back and pitch this game. If there was even an inkling that something was wrong. I mean, he has, a huge money contract.
Yep.
That being said, he's losing today.
You think he's losing today, huh?
Look.
Heaney's been good, dude.
Not just good. Absolutely freaking great.
Wow, and they're plus 200, the Angels are. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. And you got a guy who's 5-0 with an ERA of 1.79 in 6 starts.
Unbelievable,
That's
dude.
Heaney. I mean, right now, 31 strikeouts in 40 innings. His whip is .87.
Damn.
And he hasn't been facing bums, he hasn't. So, to me, this is an insane line. I mean, the guy's pitched against Houston. He only gave up 1 earned. He's pitched against the Stanks, 1 earned. At Colorado, only 2 earned runs. Shut out Seattle at Seattle. 2 earned runs at home against Boston. 2 earned runs against Texas. Man, I don't think that, I still don't love the Dodgers lineup. Kershaw does have a 2.51, and he's great, guys. He's absolutely great. But he's also pitching on, an off day for him. After he got scratched because of the hip. He's not on his normal rotation. Look, that throws any pitcher out of whack. It happened to Harvey the other day, and he gave up 5 earned runs early, a couple weeks ago when he was on, 11 days rest. Same thing will happen to Kershaw today. Angels will get an early jump and win this game. At this juice, this is crazy. This is the book saying, hey, you're all idiots. You're going to take Kershaw.
Wow, that's really surprising, Dan. What have you ever considered doing the Angels plus 1.5 at even money?
I'm seeing it, but it's right now on my book of choice, which is leaning actually more Angels, because right now it actually is the Dodgers at minus 225. So the plus 1.5 is minus 125.
I got minus 120 here on my book. That's good, so, dude. I like the plus 1.5.
Yeah, no, I know. I feel you. I actually think the Angels come out big here.
Okay, I think that line will move a little bit too. I don't think they're going to be giving minus 240 to the Angels all day long. You know what I mean? It's a 4:05 start, guys. So got a little bit of time. What about the total, Dan? 6 runs. What do you think?
It's a 4:05 Eastern time start. So I actually like the over.
Yeah, I was looking at that too.
I think that Kershaw gives up a few runs today, 3 or 4. I think the Dodgers bullpen might give up a couple. And look, I'm not saying he's going to be perfect, but at a 6 number, I feel that this game could be 4-3 Angels in the end, depending on what the bullpens do. But oh man, I don't know.
All right,
I don't know. This line doesn't make a lot of we'll see what happens. But
All right.
I'm on the Angels.
Well, the Angels are 1-7 in their last 8 games, dude. So they got to turn it around at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
got swept by the Astros, and now lost a couple of games here, man. So at some point they're gonna have to turn it around. So we'll keep it moving from there. But hey, you know what? That's a plus 200 dog, man. So that's like 2 bets if you hit it, Dan. So I wish you the best of luck with it. I may get involved with the plus 1.5.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking at.
It's not bad. I mean, even if you get it a plus 1, kid.
Plus 1 might work as well. Yeah,
plus
definitely.
1, you might get that at
as an underdog play.
Get that plus, you might get that plus money.
All right, perfect, man. Next one, we got a very nasty series here, but it's been an entertaining series though because there's been a hell of a lot of run scores. Yeah, Detroit at Baltimore, man. Detroit, Anibal Sanchez. Baltimore, Kevin Gausman. Baltimore minus 145 on an under/over of 8.5 runs. How bad is that Detroit bullpen? My God.
Dude, We said the same thing over and over and over again. When I did my over-unders, I looked at that team, and I said, man, they need Cabrera to have a superstar, season to not get hurt, so he got hurt. And now I said, that bullpen is atrocious again. And, oh, my God, it's like the first time that Baltimore's come back on a lead like that in like 30 years.
Definitely.
I mean, that's just a travesty. And then today, so you got Anibal Sanchez at Gausman. Both really mediocre pitchers.
I know.
Really mediocre. I kind of feel Baltimore here, but I am not touching this game. Again, I lean Baltimore. I lean the over. But this is going to be a nasty game. This is going to be one of those where either team you take, you're going to be stomach aching the whole way through. You'll have a team that'll go up 3-0. Next thing you know, they'll be losing 4-3. It'll go back and forth. I truly see that game like this.
I know. Detroit's had the lead like big time in these last 2 games, man. And they almost lost the first one and lost the second one. So
yeah, I would like to see. I got to try and find a stat to see if Detroit leads the league in games where there's like lead changes.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like because their bullpen's so bad, their starters have been bad. Look at them to completely fall off the table, guys. I think the only reason that I even like Baltimore, and look, it's Gausman, so I'm not in love with it, is I'm kind of feeling a real fade Detroit type attitude coming up. I just might not start it today. I think Detroit's really going to go in the toilet.
All right, sounds good, man. Both teams are averaging over 4 runs a game. Detroit about 4.5 and Baltimore 4.39. Looking at the ERA, Sanchez 4.61, Gausman 4.08. Totals going over in 5 of the last 6 Detroit games. The bullpen's been absolutely atrocious, as we alluded to. And Baltimore is 6-1 in their last 7 games. So I don't like this matchup, man. If anything, like you said, I mean, damn. Overs are going crazy in this series.
Yeah,
man.
It's the second worst. It's probably the second worst matchup of the day.
Definitely. All right, here's a very interesting series for you and I, man, because we got the Atlanta Braves coming into the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Philadelphia Phillies have been laying the smackdown on everybody they've been playing against, dude. So, Dan, for our bet, guys, I don't know if you know this, but, I'm sure that if you've been a listener to our show, you know our bet, but I have the Philadelphia Phillies under 95.5 losses, and Dan has them over. So I got about 27 more. Actually, I need 28 more, Dan, with that.
Yeah, 95 is our push number.
95 is our push number, right. So we'll leave it at 95, exactly. So,
yeah.
All I need is 27 more wins,
96 or more, you owe me some playoff tickets.
Yes.
If they win, if they don't, I owe you some playoff tickets. And yeah, man, hey, the Phillies, beating up the Rays and the the crappy Cubs. And now they're in town and beating up the Braves. Look, the Braves might finish close to 90-plus losses as well.
Yep.
So, I'm looking at this. It is unfortunate for me that they have a 4-game series against them, but I think the Braves actually get the job done today.
I think so too, Dan. I don't see the Braves getting swept by the Philadelphia Phillies, but for me, I would stay far away from that game, dude, because just the way the Phillies are playing.
I'm not touching it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not touching it. It's a story of like 2 rook pitchers.
Yep.
You got Whistler, who's 22 years old. He's had 7 starts. He's 5-1 with a 3.43. His last 3 starts, have been okay. I mean, at Colorado, he only gave up 2 runs. Home against the Dodgers, 4 earned. I mean, it's the Dodgers, okay. And at St. Louis, he only gave up 2 earned runs. And, now he gets the Phillies, which, their offense hasn't been absolute garbage, but it's not either of those teams. And you have a guy in Aaron Nola who's only making his 3rd start in the bigs. Remember, his first start was against Tampa Bay, and everybody said, "Oh, he's so great. He only gave up 5 hits and an earned run."
Yep.
And I don't know if you remember, but I was like, "Guys, it's Tampa Bay. 5 hits is really bad." So, his last time out at Chicago, he did go 7 2/3, but he gave up 4 earned runs on only 5 hits. So, look, I expect the Braves to get it done today. The only lean I have on this game is the under, but I'm not touching it because I don't want to watch it.
I got it, man. Well, Philadelphia Phillies are 11-2 in their last 13 games, man.
I know, it was their run. Look, here's the thing. So for basically what you need is them to play 500 ball the rest of the season.
Right.
And I need them to play slightly under. So, I basically, I don't know. I think it's going to be close. I think it might be close, but here's the thing. They played some garbage teams lately, and I know they got the Braves now, and let's say, in worst-case scenario for me, they sweep them. They got to play the Dodgers at home, and the Dodgers will be and then they got a long West Coast road trip.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
We'll have that conversation as it moves forward, kid. So
I know you're gonna be trying to hedge out, Be like, oh look, I'll just I'll buy the beers. We'll split the tickets.
Here's a team that's kind of starting to bring themselves back to 500 ball. You got the Arizona Diamondbacks coming into the Houston Astros, man. Arizona 1 game under 500, but they're going up against Houston's Dallas Keuchel, who I know you love. Arizona has Jeremy Hellickson on the mound, who's 7-6 with a 4.60 ERA. Arizona 5-0 in their last 5 games, Dan.
Yeah, they are.
And that makes them the hot. Dude, what's sad is that makes them the hottest team in baseball right now.
Hey, but that just shows how hard it is to have a 5-game winning streak in baseball. I mean, it's tremendously difficult. But, if you look at playoff series, right, how hard is it to win like 3 games in a row or something like that? But, man, I love Keuchel, but I can't touch this game at minus 230. Look, I know he's at home. I know he's a monster. But Arizona's been so hot. And sometimes that just makes all the difference in the world. Hellickson, who's starting for Arizona, very, very mediocre. But as of late, he's been very good. At Texas, 6 hits to earn. Marlins, 5 hits to earn. And then shut out Milwaukee his last time out. His last 7 starts, his ERA has been a full point lower than it is the rest of the season.
Yep.
That's why I'm not touching it. I almost want to do a science experiment bet here on Arizona, but I'm not going to go against Keuchel. I just can't do it, but I can't take it either.
All right. Big ups to my boy TK Wins. He's telling me he likes Toronto today because they're 9-1 in the last 10 versus Kansas City. So, hey, man, I wish you the best of luck for that.
Sense.
And
it makes sense, but you got to look at how far back that goes. And remember, Kansas City was, just a couple years ago was garbage.
Yeah, good point. And you did call them to make the World Series last year, man. So you were like the only one out there that did it. So
I know.
Dallas Keuchel probably gets the job done here, dude. I got to be honest with you.
But he does.
The minus 220 is heavy.
You can't do such heavy juice with, minus 230 against a team that's won 5 in a row. They've been playing great baseball, and a pitcher who's on the upswing. I mean, you don't want to get screwed where, maybe Keuchel has a great game. Let's say he goes 8 innings, gives up a run, and, maybe they're up 2-1. I mean, you could still, lose that game. I think it's too much of a stomachache, too much of a 50-50, especially for a minus 230.
Got it. All right, dude, sounds good. Well, we'll move on to the next one and see what we got here. So, maybe a Houston -1 may work or something like that, just in case they decide to win by 1 run. There's been a lot of 1-run games lately, man. Unbelievable. We got the Cubs coming into the Milwaukee Brewers. Dude, you were right, man. The Milwaukee Brewers sold everybody, kid. They got no one left besides Taylor Jungmann. That's all they got left, man. I took a shot with Jungmann last night. I actually split. Picked up the St. Louis on the -1 line, but then I had the Milwaukee Brewers who lost. Milwaukee, let's see, they're underdogs today with Matt Garza on the mound. The Cubs have Kyle Hendricks, Chicago -123 with an under-over of 8. It's kind of tough to bet the Brewers nowadays when they have nobody left.
Yeah, it's tough, but the Cubs are just...
Cubs stink, man.
They do. I mean, you got swept by the Phillies at home.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna stay far away from this game. I think this is, kind of a nasty game that you don't want to touch.
I agree, man. Milwaukee 1-6 in their last 7, and the Cubs surprisingly are 4-1 in their last 5 games, guys. So hey, we'll stay away from it because we're gonna go to another game that I think you're gonna be all over here. Washington Nationals at your New York Mets, and let's see, the Mets are -150. Versus the Nasties. Wow. Under over 6.5. You got your boy DeGrom on the mound versus Joe Ross for the Washington Nationals. What do you think here, Dan? DeGrom?
I mean, you know how I feel about DeGrom. I mean, that's my boy. I mean, I love Matt Harvey, and he was amazing. It's like all these pitchers try and one up each other, right? It's like you had Syndergaard at his last start. He went out and he threw 7 perfect innings. Matt Harvey comes out, throws 5 perfect innings. It only gives up 3 hits, and that unfortunate run, which if you saw how he gave it up, it was like, a broken bat, bloop double. Man, I mean, DeGrom, in 2 out of his last 3 starts, he's thrown a shutout.
Yep.
All right, and his last time out at Washington, he gave up 3 hits and had that unfortunate 2-run homer, but still won that game. I mean, dude has been unreal. In his last 7 starts, he has a 1.46 ERA, a .69 WHIP, and he struck out 47 guys in 49 innings. Like, ridiculous? I mean, just ridiculous. And I think that I'm starting to think that the Mets are in Bryce Harper's head.
Think so, huh?
I think that, dude, I mean, how do you get thrown out of that game last night?
I don't know. I did not see the game last night.
Another at-bat or 2. I mean, in extra innings, to possibly win, put the go-ahead runs on the board, he gets thrown out of the game. I mean, what an idiot.
That's not the first time he's been thrown out this year either.
No, and you know what? Look. Dude was dealing. You got struck out. The pitch was borderline. I'll admit that. But it was a 2-strike pitch. You can't take it. Everybody knows that. And then you go out and you just lose your mind. Look, I understand. You want to have a conversation with the umpire. Have a conversation, but to get thrown out like that in that spot is absolutely just atrocious. And I mean, look, if I know it's an important series, the Mets win these next 2, it's tied for first place in the East, and that's
right.
huge.
I think that's a lot of juice.
If I was his manager, I would consider benching him.
That's a lot of juice, though, for them to be given to the Nationals, bro.
It is a lot of juice, but I get it. I mean, you got DeGrom on the mound. And if I'm looking right, these guys faced each other in Washington. And DeGrom beat him, remember?
The only thing that bothers me about this series is that Washington is 17-3 in the last 20 games when playing in New York, brother.
I understand that. But the Mets had, last year, the Mets were so bad against the Nationals.
Yeah, I know.
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. They lost, I think, almost every game at Citi Field. I think they got swept every series. So that skewed that a little bit. Here's the thing, though, man. Tyler Clippard was a great addition to the bullpen. Obviously, losing Mejia again, who, what an idiot he is. Familia, I think, even though he blew some saves, he's looking. He pitched, yesterday, and he looked great. So. And look, I gotta say, man, you got Cespedes coming in today.
All right, man. Yeah, it's his first start, right?
I'm on the Mets -1.5. Call it a homer play. You don't have to put me on that. But I think the Mets win this game pretty easily today. I don't think DeGrom gives up a run. The Mets win it at -1.5.
All right, sounds good. A couple of more games on the ticket. We actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 more to go, man. So we're almost through them here. San Diego.
Out there.
San Diego at Miami. San Diego winning in extra innings. They put up like a 5 spot in I want to say it was the top of the 10th or top of the 11th, whatever. But they ended up winning 8-3 versus the Miami Marlins. Miami minus 115, under over of 7.5. San Diego has Mr. Despaigne on the mound, and Miami has Jose Urena. Nasty game, Dan. I can't take a side here. What do you got?
I think we can move right on. Anybody who
so.
wants to bet this game is like a masochist. I mean, you know, the Padres at even money. I hate to say it, but I kind of feel like that's the play if you gotta play this game. And here's why. I mean, you know, you blew. You know, the Marlins. I mean, they're the Marlins. I mean, 20 games under 500 about, and you have Urena on the mound who's 1-4 with a 404. That being said, I still wouldn't touch it. Let's move on.
All right, sounds good, man. Let's go to the next one. We have Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. Pittsburgh, Garrett Cole. Cincinnati, Raciel Iglesias. And Cincinnati wasn't last night, but the night before, man. All over them. All over, who was it? Who was pitching for them, for Pittsburgh? Got smashed.
Oh my God!
Oh, it was on the tip of my tongue, dude. But one of their big guys, man, got smoke show by Cincinnati Reds.
Liriano, was it?
I think it was Liriano.
It was Liriano, I think.
So Pittsburgh, and if you look at it, I don't know if you have the stats up, guys, but in the NL Central, Pittsburgh, I believe, has a losing record versus that division, bro.
Yeah, they did not play their division very well.
Garrett Cole coming on the mound with a 2.31 ERA with a 14-4 record. That's got to be one of the best in the major leagues, brother.
You know, Garrett Cole, I think so, right? No, I mean, there's some crazy numbers for pitchers right now. I mean, 14 wins, I think, is the lead. 2.24 ERA, though. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good, man.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, he's been unbelievable. But, you know, I mean, a minus 160, I like it. I mean, I like it. I definitely think it looks good. I was looking at the minus 1.5, but it's only at plus 105, which seems a little low. You know, I don't know. I mean, Cincinnati didn't get rid of enough. I mean, Iglesias is not that good.
Right.
I expect the Pirates to be all over them. There's something that's just telling me to stay away from this game.
No, this might be one of those games where Pittsburgh Pirates don't decide to score any runs. So, you know, you might end up at a stomachache with this.
It would figure against a pitcher that has an over 5.5 ERA and who's 1-3.
Yeah, right.
They'd probably come out and, you know, score a run.
I like the under in this game, Dan.
Yeah?
I like the under 8. Yeah, I really do. I think when Garrett Cole, let me just see what kind of run support he's getting. Obviously, it's been pretty good if he's got a 14-4 record, but kind of feeling the under in this game. I got to be honest with you. Let me look at, let's see, the last game he won 3-1. Previous game before that versus K Sizzle lost 3-1. And the previous games before that, St. Lucia, he won 5-2. And versus Cleveland, he won 5-3. So, yeah, I'm with it, man. 8 runs with Garrett Cole on the mound all day long, Dan. I'm gonna take a shot with that and take the under there, guys. Next one we have is Seattle at Minnesota. Seattle, Mike Montgomery, and Minnesota has Kyle Gibson. Minnesota minus 135 with an under-over of 8.5. What do you got here, bro?
Yeah, I mean, this Minnesota team, man, been a little tough to figure out.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I gotta stay far away from this game.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, man. They lost last night and won the night before, but you know, you would think that they would get the job done here. Montgomery's been okay for Seattle, 4-4 with a 3.20 ERA, but Seattle 1-4 in their last 5 games, and Minnesota 1-5 in their last 6. Yikes! They better start winning, man. They're only 4 games over 500. They better start winning to secure their wild card spot, man.
Yeah, no, I know, and I'm starting to think that maybe they're fading out.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is that Seattle has decided to stick a fork in themselves. I mean, any chance that they had to come off the break, obviously, and have a big-time winning streak. And they didn't, obviously, getting swept by the Diamondbacks and losing the first game of the series to the Twins. I know that they won yesterday, but I think this is like desperation mode for Minnesota.
Definitely, with the Toronto Blue Jays, Baltimore Orioles, and you know, teams like the White Sox. Everybody's gunning for them, man, for the second wild card spot. So hey, man, we'll see what happens with that.
They've been bad. I don't think that they're going to end up getting there.
You don't think so,
I don't think they're going to get there.
I think
no, because I just look. I'm looking at it, and right now, and obviously for you guys who are future betting, look, you got the Yankees and Toronto, who I think out of the East will both have a playoff spot.
Okay.
Kansas City, obviously, will win that division. I think it's pretty clear. Okay, and then you got Houston, and I still have to think the Angels will get it together.
Yes.
Completely.
Yep.
So right there is your playoff field. I think that's the AL right there.
All right, man. All right, so we'll see what happens. I think Minnesota gets the job done here, though, dude.
I think they get it done today because they have to.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Minnesota has, these they're lucky, right? 4-game series against the Mariners, who are 10 under 500. They have to win the next 2 of those. Because then they got to go on the road, and they have a 4-game set at Toronto. So if they lose this series, let's say they lose 3 out of 4, and they fall down and they're 1 over 500, by the time they get done with Toronto, they'll be 3 under 500, and they'll be out of it.
Yeah, good point. Good point. You definitely got to win these must-win games.
A joke. General manager over there is a joke. Maybe it's the ownership. I don't know. But you don't make any move to help your team out. Like, go for it, man. I'm just kind of sick of these guys not doing anything. The moves are out there. You could have gotten Kimbrel. You could have gotten Chapman. You could have bolstered, the bullpen at least, which you really need to. You could have gotten, not a great bat, but someone that could, have a little stability. You have no one that can hit really on a consistent basis anymore. I don't know, man.
All right, big ups to Christos, Total Sports Edge. My man Vinny is taking the Red Sox over 9. Hey, good luck with that to you, brother. Let's see, I got the Canadian Capper. My boy Winkley is on here. Slim Daddy wins. I got Jeff Ryan, Holiday Marlin, Get a Vegas Bookie. What's up, guys? Good morning to you. Welcome to the party, along with Tip Talker as well. So, looking at that game, Dan, I think Minnesota gets the job done. I really do, but I don't know if I'm going to bet them or not. I like this under in the Pittsburgh game a lot better. I got to be honest with you. The next one we have is the New York Yankees at the Chicago White Sox. How about the Yankees, man? Where'd that offense come from all of a sudden? Actually, both of these teams, dude. The offenses have been lights out, man.
I mean, they're just riding that Mark Teixeira bandwagon. Kid.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, oh my God. If he's obviously like the comeback player of the year. Dude's been, unbelievable.
Him and A-Rod. Him and A-Rod been dope.
Yeah, no, of course, A-Rod's been dope. It's just like the most unexpected thing going into the season. And, I thought that the Yankees last year were old, and I didn't think they did anything in the offseason to really get younger. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, really shocked. Here's the thing, guys. A crazy thing I heard on the radio the other day. The Yankees do not have another game outside of the Eastern time zone the rest of the season.
Wow.
After this series with the White Sox, right? So they don't have another, not Central, not Pacific. So what that means is, especially for an older team, they're on the plane for maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
Maybe if they go to Florida, 2.5, 3. That's it. It's, look, guys, I know anybody who sat on a plane, who's in their 30s or 40s, you sit on that plane for 5 or 6 hours, you're stiffened up. It's not great, no matter how first-class amenities are. But, man, the Yankees, I think they're going to keep going on this tear. I even like them today on the road at -105 with Mitchell.
Well, Mitchell's got his first start, right?
Yeah, it's his first start. But, the Yankees have just been ridiculous.
I know. And you got and Danks has been ridiculously bad.
Bad. I mean, like, Johnny Danks, what happened to you? I mean, you've never been great. I always thought he was overvalued. The White Sox are fighting there for a little bit. Man, in the last few games, they had those 2 losses to the Rangers. But, 21 runs. And then, they had the 2 spot. But still, 29. They've scored in the last 4 games. They've scored, they're averaging almost 11 runs a game.
Crazy.
That's insane. So, I got to go with them today. Look, Brian Mitchell, for those of you I mean, he's 24. You know, he was the 495th pick overall in 2009.
Yep.
But he's actually been in 9 games. He started 1 game in the major leagues, and it actually didn't go bad. You know, he's been in the bullpen, and he's been really good in the bullpen. You know, man, I got to think that he can hold it together long enough. You know, that maybe, you know, they're obviously going to have a plan that after 4 or 5 innings, he'll probably come out and someone good will come in. But their offense has been on such fire, and the White Sox have not looked great. I mean, I know they made that run, but like I said, you know, look who they were making the run against. I think the Yankees definitely get it done today, and at minus 105, I got to be on it.
That's some pretty good juice for the Yankees, man. They're usually heavily favored.
I know.
You know, I mean, I get it with Brian Mitchell making his first start and all that, but hey, we'll see where it lands. Dude, you got an under-over of 9 runs here, man. So that might be there might be a lot of fireworks in that game, dude. So
yeah,
you know,
I mean, I think there could be. You know, after the White Sox won, you know what, they won 9 in a row, and everybody's like, "Oh, the White Sox, they're great." You know, and I know it was on the road, but it was still Cleveland and the Red Sox.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
You know, and they've lost 2 in a row now at the Red Sox, and now they're home against the Yankees. They got blasted, obviously, last night. I think they get blasted again today.
Okay. All right. 3 more games on the ticket. Colorado at St. Lucia, man. Colorado, Jorge De La Rosa. St. Louis Cardinals have Lance Lynn. St. Louis minus 195 with an under-over of 7.5 runs. Dan, what do you think about St. Lucia here, brother?
I mean, they're going to murder them?
Yeah. Just like they won by a touchdown last night, 7-0.
I know. You know, well, I'm not seeing my line here. What's the line you have on that game again?
I have, let me take a look. St. Louis minus 195 with an under-over of 7.5 runs.
I'm seeing that right now. I think I'm going to go the minus 1.5 at plus 110.
Minus 1.5 at plus 110. You got it. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. You think Lance Lynn will shut down Colorado, right?
Yeah. With a team that, even though they did get Jose Reyes back, and again, maybe I'm just a Jose Reyes apologist, but I really like him. I love the way he plays. But you still got rid of the face of your franchise.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So, like, you're still dealing with that. You know, I know Cargo has been on an absolute tear, but you know, Lance Lynn hasn't been terrible. I mean, you know, and you're facing a guy that has been pretty terrible. And you know, you got to remember now, guys. This is, if St. Louis wins this game tonight, they are 30 games over 500.
Unreal.
They'll be 67-37, and the Rockies coming into tonight's game are 15 under. St. Louis is just showing them, like, hey, you know, it's like what you do to your little brother. You know, it's just like to show them that you're the boss.
Yep, exactly.
That's what's going on. What's going on. So, and you got to remember, too, Colorado's pitching has been bad in this series. This is another one of those 4 gamers. And I know that St. Louis gave up 8 runs the other night, but Colorado still gave up 9. So the first 2 games of the series, St. Louis has outscored Colorado 16-8.
Wow. Unbelievable. All right, man. 2 more games on the ticket, man. We have San Francisco at Texas, and Mr. Cole Hamels is getting his first start today. Texas minus 130 with an under-over of 8.5 runs. 8.5 with a supposed dope pitcher on the mound, Dan. Cole Hamels, you know, he did no-hit the Cubs in his last outing, but before that, he was really bad. He had like 9 starts where he had no victories, dude.
I know, and not to mention, he did throw the most. I'm on the Giants at plus money.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, look, I still don't think the Rangers are that good. You know, Heston, in his last 3 starts, has been really good, granted, against Philadelphia, San Diego, and Milwaukee, but only giving up 3 total earned runs in 3 games. So, you know, averaging a run a game over his last 3. His last 7 games, you got to remember too, he's 5-0 with a 2.11.
Wow.
I mean, that's remarkable. You know, and in his last 15, he's 9-3. So, you know, his ERA is a run better, a whole run better than it has been all year, right? His ERA for the season is 3.14. Last 7 games, it's 2.11. 27 strikeouts in 41 innings. His whip under 1. You know, look, Cole Hamels has been the, you know, if you take that no-hitter away, he's been the way worse pitcher.
Sure,
you
absolutely.
Know, plus money here on a pitcher that it's his first start with a new team. He just threw 130-something pitches and a no-hitter. He's coming off the highest of highs. He's traded, but it's not like he's traded to a team that has serious playoff aspirations. I mean, I guess the Rangers are thinking they can go on a big run and still get there. But man, I'm on the Giants.
Rangers are only 2 games under 500, dude. So that would make them probably 3 games out of the wild card right now.
I'm looking at let me look at the wild card standings. I mean, they are, but I mean, let's be realistic here.
Yeah.
The teams that are above them and even some below them right now. You know, are you telling me, like, let's take Toronto and Texas. You know, it's like not even close there, especially now with Price.
Yeah.
If you even in their own division, Houston or the Angels, I would take either one of those teams. You know, so right now, yeah, Texas is 3 games in back of the second wild card. The teams ahead of them are Tampa Bay, who I think is worse, Toronto and Baltimore. And then you have, obviously, the leaders right now in the wild card are the Angels and Minnesota. I think Minnesota falls off for Toronto. I think the Angels stay there. I think that the Angels, you know, Texas might be able to battle back in there, but the Angels and, you know, and Texas and Baltimore will probably all fight for that last wild card, and I think it's going to be between Baltimore and the Angels, guys.
Okay, sounds good, man. My boy Frank Vinculato, who is a big Giants fan, he's saying that they haven't lost back-to-back games all month long. So he says the Bats will awake today and get the job done versus Mr. Cole Hamels, kid. So, and you agree with him. So, all right.
Yeah.
Final game we have on the ticket, just real quick before I do that, my boy Fast Eddie is looking at the St. Louis and Colorado under 7.5. My boy Fast 8072. The last one we have is Cleveland at Oakland. Cleveland, Cody Anderson. Oakland has Aaron Brooks, and it's pretty much even all money across the board with an under-over of 7. What you got?
This is...
Cleve, man.
You should, the last game of the night you should take is San Francisco. You know, that game starts at, 7:05 Eastern? And you still have yourself a nice, pleasant night.
Yes.
Don't go out there with, with Oakland and Cleveland. Don't be chasing that wild stallion late at night. Man, that game is ugly.
Definitely, man. I thought Oakland would make a run there for a minute. But, they ended up selling everybody and, going from there. But Aaron Brooks is making his first start for Oakland today. And Cody Anderson, 2-2 with a 3.26 ERA for Cleveland. Cleveland 6 games under 500, dude. Cleveland 3-6 in their last 9. And Oakland is 1-7 in the last 8. No business getting involved in this game, Dan.
No.
None at all. All right, so why don't we go back to what we got going on and see what you got, man, as far as plays are concerned, Dan?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, sounds good. So let me just switch up the music here and go from there. All right, Dan, talk to me about what you got, and then we'll have a conversation of what I'm feeling.
Yeah, so we're going to go Giants at plus 111, the Cardinals minus 1.5 at plus 110, the Stanks at minus 105, the Mets at minus 1.5 at plus 155. The Angels in a science experiment play at plus 190. Okay? The Rays Red Sox under at even money. And then I got the Royals Blue Jays over 8 at minus 110. And then I'm going to see about doing some stuff with Miss Ronda Rousey and the under 1. I'll probably tweet some stuff out about that. But I'm also looking for a time limit prop bet. So if anybody sees on any book out there, an under 30 second or an under a minute knockout play, let me know because I want to play those guys.
All right, sounds good, man. So, taking a look at the, let me ask you a question. How are the bullpens for Pittsburgh and Cincinnati? Cincinnati, obviously, you got Aroldis Chapman. I get it.
Yeah, but other than that, it's bad.
It's bad, okay. And what about for Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, I think it's been middle of the pack, but I haven't, honestly. I'd have to look at the bullpen stats, but I don't think it's been that bad. I know they have Melanson out there. They also just added Soria and Blanton to the mix. The bullpen's been mediocre. They've added some pieces, so that's always good if you get some arms in there.
All right, cool deal, man. Because I'm thinking about taking an under in that game. I just don't know if I want to do the full game or the first 5.
Yeah, that is a conundrum.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. So, or I may take the team total under for the Cincinnati Reds. I may do that. I'll figure it out from there.
What's that number at?
Probably, if I had to guess, you're probably looking at a 3.5 to 4.
That is not bad.
Not bad, right?
And I might jump on that as well. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, Garrett Cole should lay the smackdown on the Cincinnati Reds today.
Yeah, and guys, the only other thing that I wanted to throw out there is that sometimes there are bets on how many total runs will be scored, across the league. And on days like this, when the weather's good, it's hot, it's humid, and balls fly, I'm just saying, take a look at that. Do your own math, do that. But sometimes that I know it sounds a little crazy, but it's a way to make some money.
I'm looking at this, man. Garrett Cole has not been that great versus the Reds this year, man. His last start was in June 24th. He had 4 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs. Time before that, was in May. 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs. So
yeah, like I said, that's the only thing that scares me off this game. Is not necessarily him, but just how poorly they've played against the rest of the division as a whole.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's where it gets a little shaky.
Yeah, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games have gone over in this series, believe it or not. And then last night was a push because the total was 9. So, wow, man, that might pull me off it. I don't know. I mean, it's just an initial lean, guys. I will get back to you on it, and we will go from there, Dan. So that's pretty much it, man. Great job today.
Thanks, man. You too.
All right, guys. We are Sports Bettors TV. We want to thank every single person that's retweeting our show. AZ Wildcat 83 is out there as well. We got Spot Bet. We got my man Stash. What's going on, guys? I got The Dream is out there retweeting us. Fast Eddie, good luck with your play today. Vinny, good luck with your play. Christo's Total Sports Edge. Winkley, the Canadian Capper. Slim Daddy wins. Jeff Ryan, Get a Vegas Bookie. Marlon Holiday. Crush the Bookie and the entire fake fam. We love you guys to death, man. Everybody, go out there, go easy, do your own homework, bet your own plays, make all your dreams a reality, and get that money. Let's go.
Peace.